Okay, so what we want to talk to you guys about today is medicals and biometrics. That we went for. It's fairly simple actually. You basically just show up and go through the motions. The medicals, yeah. So maybe let's start with the biometrics or not medicals. Let's talk about the medicals. So medicals, you can do voluntarily before you actually get invited to go do your medicals. So some countries don't require medicals, but I think most countries probably will. So we South Africa, we require medical for work permit or immigration, for both of those. So we applied for our work permit. We're still waiting. It's supposed to take 2 weeks, and it's taken, what are we in now?
8 weeks.
We're in 8 weeks. Monday will be 8 or 9.
Monday will be 9, I think.
Yeah, so we're still waiting anyway. So it's taken quite a long time, and it's probably due to the whole coronavirus pandemic thing. Medical. So you can do voluntarily. You can go and just book your own appointment, and then what they'll do is they'll link that to your profile number. So you need an express entry profile, or at least I must check.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you need some other application number.
Your passport number. How do they link it?
They do use your they generate a barcode for you, and they do link it to your profile.
But what number was it?
I can't remember.
So it's either the passport number, or it's the express entry profile number, or the work permit application number. Because every time
possibly all three. I mean, they did take your passport number anyway. That's important.
I think it's just linked to your passport, to be honest. Okay. So anyway, so then your medical goes onto the system. So there's 3 components to the medical.
The medical, once you decide that you're going to want to book for the upfront medical or the normal medical, it will probably take you about a month to 2 months to wait for an appointment to be scheduled. There are only 2 service providers that I know of. The one is in Pretoria and the other one's in Cape Town. And it is a practice, well, the one in Cape Town is a practice of about 5 GPs who do it. And yet, it takes about 2 months to be...
But it wasn't that long. It was 3 weeks.
So when I phoned, it was 3 weeks. And when I phoned 24 hours later, it was about 5 weeks.
So in 2 days.
In 2 days,
there's 2
the
weeks.
appointment date jumped 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. So anyway, phone and ask, I suppose. That's the bottom line. Yeah, so 3 components to the medicals. The one is the doctor's examination, where they check your eyesight, they check your blood pressure, listen to your chest. So it's basically like a normal physical exam. They took a urine sample. Do you know what they check in the urine?
Yes, for protein.
And what does that mean? If there's protein in the urine? I don't know. Anyway, if you got protein in your urine,
it's a problem.
Something's wrong.
They're going to flag you.
Anyway, so no protein in the urine. Okay, so from our kids are 4, 6 and 8, and the 6-year-old and the 8-year-old had to give a urine sample, but the 4-year-old didn't. So I don't know what that cutoff is, but anyway, it's somewhere between...
Under 5.
Under 5, okay. So the child's under 5, they don't need to give a urine sample. None of the children had to draw blood.
Yes.
So none of them had to do the blood tests. And then, they feel your body for bumps. They ask you a few questions. Have you had operations? Sort of the standard medical questions. Have you had operations? Any complications? History of this disease or that disease?
They're quite big on prescription medication.
Yeah, they asked. Yeah, so we're not on anything. I'm on Pericos, which is like a medicine for gout. And that's about it. Yeah, so
it was a nice outing. It was a long outing, the medicals.
It's a long day.
It was a solid 4 hour sit. We waited about half an hour to be helped by the GP, but then, the system, it's a typical computer system, needs to be waited upon to refresh your things, and then they send you for your blood and they send you for your x-rays. But it was a very clean, nice experience. We went to a nice hospital. I just packed a big basket of snacks and colouring things and books for the kids. So it was long, but it wasn't gross. It was very nice.
Yeah, so very nice experience. Okay, so like Ina said, then you go for blood tests, and only the two of us had to give blood, so not the excuse me, not the kids. None of the children have to give blood. You know what they check for in blood? I know it's HIV and syphilis, so STDs.
And then liver function.
And liver function, yeah, in your blood. Do you know if they check for diabetes?
That's something they pointedly ask you.
Yeah, I think they ask you in the medical if you suffer from diabetes.
I would imagine they would test for that though.
In your blood, possibly, yeah. So we don't suffer from diabetes, luckily, or anything else. We're.
Don't have to discuss our health.
Oh, we don't have to.
No, we don't.
Okay, so we're not.
Anyway,
not delving.
We went for X-rays again. Only the adults went for chest X-rays, and that's it.
Okay, so South Africa is a high TB tuberculosis country. So that's one of the very prominent things in South Africa. So they test for tuberculosis with a chest X-ray, and obviously they listen to your lungs as well. The COVID test we'll have to obviously do when we fly. Before we fly, we'll have to all test negative for COVID. And then when we land in Canada, we're going to all have to quarantine for 2 weeks, 14 days. That's still the law at the moment. We won't be able to get the vaccine in South Africa if we choose to get it. But we're quite positive we've actually had the disease. So because everyone around it's had it. And we just don't seem to get sick. So I think the mild flu we had a year ago was that.
Okay.
All right.
The other one is the biometrics, and that is something that they request.
Yeah.
So it's not something you can book it online, but it'll be to no avail.
You
because
don't.
Once they request it, they will also provide the paperwork.
They give you a paper, yeah. They give you a paper that you've got to print out with a barcode and a number and all sorts of things that you have to scan. So once they start actually processing any of your applications, you'll get a biometrics request. But before we just go into this, on the medical side, just to finish, all the x-rays and the blood results go back to the GP or the doctors that do the exam, and then they upload everything on the Canadian website profile, and so it took about 3-4 days, I think. 4 days, and it showed up on our profile. It said you get like a UCI number. So once you've done your medical, they give you a printout right there with your UCI number, and you then go on your Canadian online profile, and per person you then insert their UCI number. And it took about 4 days then for that to show on my work permit application that said then you've gone for your medical with the date that we went for it, and it says that we've passed it. So we're in the clear.
What was nice about going for the biometrics and for the medicals was that everything else about our Canadian application has been online. So you just do it on your computer. You don't literally go anywhere for it. So this was a nice outing for the family to get a feel of we're going somewhere, we're going to do something exciting.
Very exciting. So I think that's it in terms of the medical and the biometrics. Nothing else there. So maybe just describe the biometrics for us. Or should I?
So the biometrics are basically just an office scan of your fingerprints and a signed declaration, and that is it. It's very quick. It's 15 minutes and a photograph.
Yeah. So very quick, you go in, they call you in one by one, fingerprints and then a picture. That's it. So they just want to basically capture your physical bio information on the system. There's no retina scan or cavity searches or anything like that. Okay.
Okay.
On that note, we'll see you guys again. we're going to tackle some of the questions. Some of the guys asked some questions. We'll tackle that in the next episode for sure. Cool. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.